Welcome back to Breaking Views. I'm Peter Thalassen in Hong Kong, and I'm joined by Andy Mukherjee in Singapore. And the subject is the Japanese elections coming up this Sunday. Andy, for once it seems we have Japanese elections where the outcome might really matter.
Yes, Peter, because this is one election in which the LDP, which was given up for dead just 3 years ago, is going to indications are that it is going to come back with a resounding majority, and Shinzo Abe, the LDP leader, has made very big promises for the economy. So everyone is waiting for the election outcome and thereafter to see if Shinzo Abe is able to keep his promises.
And he's promised basically to do something about Japan's crushing deflation, which we're now in sort of, I guess we're no longer talking about a lost decade, we're talking about 2 lost decades. Do you think that the new government,
yes,
if it's an LDP government, will be able to do something about the economic situation?
Well, certainly that's what the hope is at this moment, because as you rightly said, it's been about 15 years of falling prices, which has left the economy about 10% smaller than it was in 1998, which means that it would take about 5 years of 3% inflation to get prices back to where they were in mid-1997. Now, 3% inflation in Japan is not going to be easy because consumers, savers, workers, employers, everyone expects prices to keep falling. So it is really the confidence channel through which the BOJ and the government will have to attack this problem. But this is something that they have promised to do, and Shinzo Abe has clearly said that he is going to take Bank of Japan on board to attack deflation, and that is really going to be key. The Bank of Japan and its participation in this program.
Yes, the Bank of Japan has obviously been central to the discussion, probably in quite an uncomfortable way for the central bank itself, questions about its independence. But, I mean, Abe is talking about 3% inflation. Even his own party is only talking about 2% inflation targets. So the question really is, can you force the central bank to do things that it might be reluctant to do?
Well, an independent central bank is a great tool to have when there is already high inflation in the economy and you need to make citizens confident about future price levels, that they will be kept under check. But in a deflationary situation, Bank of Japan's independence actually comes in the way of a recovery, because people expect that as soon as inflation goes beyond a small threshold, Bank of Japan will actually come in, and it will pretty much reverse its monetary easing, which is what happened in 1996. So therefore, it is very, very important for Abe to talk about a higher goal, and for people to actually believe that Bank of Japan has a buy-in and is actually going to pursue that higher goal. 3% inflation may not materialize in 1 year, it may not materialize in 2 years, but unless Bank of Japan and Shinzo Abe start talking about it right now, it is never going to happen.
Well, and that seems to be what the markets are thinking. The yen has been weakening in anticipation of an Abe victory. But as we know, Japan has only had 14 prime ministers in the last 20 years. The question really is whether this new government, whoever it's led by, will have the opportunity to put in place those policies for a longer period. Andy, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for joining Breaking Views.